Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. So it's a little late, but it's still on time. This is the June book club choice, and the theme for June was road trip. And I am very much in the mood for a road trip book, so I will share the 4 choices, and then I will tell you the winning one. So first up, we have Natural Born Charmer by Susan Elizabeth Phillips. This is actually the 7th book in the Chicago Stars series. However, it is my understanding that they can be read as standalones, and thus it ended up on the choice. So I will read you, and I love the cover, not gonna lie. I'll read you the blurb. Chicago Stars quarterback Dean Robillard is the luckiest man in the world, a bona fide sports superstar and the pride of the NFL, with a profitable side career as a buff billboard model for End Zone underwear. But life in the glory lane has started to pale, and Dean has set off on a cross-country trip to figure out what's gone wrong. When he hits a lonely stretch of Colorado highway, he spies something that will shake up his gilded life in ways he cannot imagine. A young woman, dressed in a beaver suit. Blue Bailey is on a mission to murder her ex, or at least inflict serious damage. As for the beaver suit she's wearing, is it her fault that life keeps throwing her curveballs? Witness the expensive black sports car pulling up next to her on the highway, and a Greek god stepping out of it. Blue's career as a portrait painter is the perfect job for someone who refuses to stay in one place for very long. She needs a ride, and America's most favorite football player has an imposing set of wheels. Now, all she has to do is keep him entertained, off guard, and fully clothed before he figures out exactly how desperate she is. But Dean isn't the brainless jock she imagines, and Blue, despite her petite stature, is just about the toughest woman Dean has ever met. They're soon heading for his summer home, where their already complicated lives and inconvenient attraction to each other will become entangled with a charismatic but aging rock star, a beautiful 52-year-old woman trying to make peace with her rock and roll past, an 11-year-old who desperately needs a family, and a bitter old woman who hates them all. As the summer progresses, the wandering portrait artist and the charming football star play a high-stakes game, fighting themselves and each other for a chance to have it all. Natural Born Charmer is for everyone who's ever thought about leaving their old life in the dust and never looking back. I'm not gonna lie, I would have been pleased as punch if this book had won the poll, but it did not. I'm just gonna spoil that part now, and I might actually just pick this one up myself and read it because I am very interested. Okay. Next up is Not Happy Campers by Ash Keller. I own this one. I got it on a Stuff Your Kindle day. And it is the first book in the Road Trip to Love series. I will read you the blurb. The only thing worse than being stuck in an RV with your enemy? Having to pretend you are madly in love. Lance Blakeman is an up-and-coming literary agent with a chance to represent the biggest horror writer since Stephen King. Unfortunately, the client doesn't want to work with a bachelor. Lance needs a fiancé, fast. Lainey Fredrickson is a struggling artist making ends meet by waitressing at a local diner. Or she had been, until pretty boy Lance got her fired for accidentally spilling a beer on him. The way he carried on, you think she had deliberately doused him with radioactive waste. Now she has exactly $4.23 to her name. Not enough for a nice latte, let alone rent. When Lance offers Lainey cash to pose as his fiancée, she can't afford to say no, even if it means spending a week in a cramped RV with him. But can they fool the client without fooling themselves? There is a fine line between love and hate. And with kisses this sweet, the line is bound to get blurred. Not Happy Campers is a laugh-out-loud, funny, clean, romantic comedy with sizzling chemistry, witty banter, and spine-tingling kisses. If you love a good enemies to lovers or fake relationship story that ends with happily ever after, this book is for you. Okay. Next up is 1+1 by Jojo Moyes. This, I believe, was published in 2014. I will read you the description. One single mom, one chaotic family, one quirky stranger, one irresistible love story. Suppose your life sucks. A lot. Your husband has done a vanishing act, your teenage stepson is being bullied, and your math whiz daughter has a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you can't afford to pay for. That's Jess's life in a nutshell, till an unexpected knight in shining armor offers to rescue them. Only Jess's knight turns out to be Geeky Ed, the obnoxious tech millionaire whose vacation home she happens to clean. But Ed has big problems of his own, and driving the dysfunctional family to the math Olympiad feels like his first unselfish act in ages. Maybe ever. I just think this sounds great. And, a funny road trip. Okay, next up would be 1,000 Miles to Graceland by Christian May Chase. And I think this one sounded funny too. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with sequins and a beehive wig and this sharply funny and achingly tender debut novel about mothers, daughters, and the surprising power of Elvis. Grace Johnson can't escape the feeling that her life is on autopilot till her husband announces he's done with her marriage. Grace has a wallow in humiliation, or reluctantly grant her... This sentence is awkward. Grace has a wallow in humiliation, or reluctantly grant her outlandish mother's 70th birthday wish with a road trip to Graceland. Buckle up, Elvis. We're on our way. Now the two are hightailing it from El Paso to Memphis, leaving a trail of sequins, false eyelashes, and difficult memories in their wake. Between spontaneous roadside stops to psychics, wig mishaps, and familiar passive-aggressive zingers, Grace is starting to better understand her Elvis-obsessed mama and their own fragile connection. She may even have another shot at love. Apparently, the king really does work in mysterious ways. But after all these years, will it ever be possible for Grace and her mom to heal the hurts of the past? I just think that book, I'm so interested in that book. So, what book are we going to read in June? We're going to read Not Happy Campers by Ash Keller. And it is very short. It is 165 pages. And it shouldn't take more than, I think, an afternoon for anyone to pick up and read at that page count. It was published in 2021, and I am almost positive it is available on Kindle Unlimited. So I will get the chapter count up on Discord this weekend, and we all have a nice, quick, easy read for June. And I am sorry this video went out late. Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.